Decision making is important today for more so than ever before, because there's so many much more variables to consider, and we still go back to the old intuition versus reasoning. So intuition being your gut, and can you rely on your gut? And in the industry, is that sufficient to rely on your gut, to rely on your instinct? Whereas reasoning is about having logical explanations for these decision making. So we explore these. We examine the merits and demerits of intuition, and we also examine the merits and demerits of reasoning, so that we can make a better and more effective decision. It also has to be tied into it where the company is going. Where is the company want to be in 12 months' time? What is the reason for this decision making? It also ties in certain things like the values of the company and the ethos of the company. So the decision you're making, is it going to tie in, or is it tie in with the values, or is it going to be contradictory to the values of the company? So these are certain aspects we explore. And also one of the biggest fundamentals about decision making is taking ownership. And by taking ownership, you're being preparing yourself to be wrong. And in today's business environment, it is absolutely acceptable to be wrong, but as long as you correct that decision quickly. So the analogy I would often use is, if you were going on a train and you realised you were on the wrong train, how long would you sit on the train for? So, would you get off at the next stop? Well, I would hope you would get off at the next stop. Because if you didn't, well then you're in a form of denial. And within any business setting, denial is no good. So there's nothing wrong with making a mistake and making a wrong decision. But we've got to assess the decision, and the sooner we can realise whether the decision is working, brilliant, we follow it. But as soon as we can realise the decision is not working, the imperative thing and the most important skill is to get off that decision quickly. Stop straight away. The first part we look at in running decision making workshop is we will quite often look to explore other industries and take case studies from other industries, because even though maybe a separate business model or a separate industry full stop, the decision making process is the same. So firstly, we will often might look at case studies. Secondly, we would examine within your own company the process. So is it a collective? Is it a team decision making, or is it an individual? Because the dynamics are completely different. Because quite often within a team, there may be different values, different ethos. People being less aggressive, more aggressive. They may be more risk averse, so people like to take risks. So within a team, there can be different agendas and different levels of appetite for risk. So that has all got to be harnessed, and that has got to be brought to the table so that we get a good decision. That is all wrapped around by the most important part, which is information gathering, because we cannot make an effective decision without having gathered information. So we look at sources of information, we look at the effects of the information, and by assessing and analysing the information in this whole information gathering process, we will then be able to effect a better decision.